Hello boys and girls, a very good evening and welcome to this live session on reasoning ability for the upcoming SBI Prelims exams. I'm sure all of you are aware of the fact that the SBI PO preliminary exam and the SBI Junior Associates preliminary exam is scheduled in the next couple of months, and I hope your preparation for the same is in high gear. Remember, practice is the only key. The more you practice, the easier it gets, especially in a section like reasoning ability where you have to deal with 35 questions and you have just 20 minutes of time. Well, that is the case with the quantitative aptitude as well, 35 questions and 20 minutes, and largely with English language as well, right? 30 questions in 20 minutes. But what is different when it comes to reasoning ability is the type of questions. If you analyze, we usually get more of 5 markers in reasoning ability. By 5 markers, I mean common data questions where you have to analyze the data and then answer the 5 questions all based on the same data. Like puzzles, right? Primarily. We have circular arrangements, we have got linear arrangements, we have got floor-based puzzles, we have got assignments, right? We have grouping-based puzzles and, variety of those types. So the point here is it becomes very, very important to choose the questions wisely, because when it comes to puzzles, there is no standard step-by-step procedure that can be followed. There is an approach that we all can have, but will that always give us the answer or lead us to the complete arrangement? You never know. More importantly, how much time would it take to arrive at the answer? You never know, right? And then there are other questions like syllogisms, 5 marks. Now those are easy to solve because each question is independent there. Even if there are 5 questions, each one is independent, and there is a definite method to be followed to get to the answer. There can be 5 questions on, let's say, blood relations. No, there is a method that can be followed and there's a definite answer, right? Coded inequalities. There's a definite method and a definite answer. Not that there is no definite answer for puzzles, but then there is no definite method, right? It is different. Every question is different. So I think the one thing which all of us need to understand is choosing the questions wisely becomes very, very important to boost your score in reasoning section. If you start with those puzzles where there is no conclusive method, you may end up wasting your precious time. And more than that, it builds a lot of pressure. So what smart students usually do here is they solve the easier ones first. In fact, that is to be done even in the other sections, but more importantly in reasoning, solve the ones where you have a definite solution. And towards the end, if time permits, choose the puzzle that you think you can crack and go ahead with it. That's how I would say you should plan your strategy for this section, and no doubts practice would help you. More and more practice will give you more and more confidence. So keep practicing. That's the one line strategy, I would say. Now in today's session, we are going to look at some puzzles and some other independent questions, more of puzzles I would say, and some of these are easy, some are difficult, some might be moderate. The idea is to touch base with these different types of questions, right? It's not that these level of questions will be asked in SBI PO prelims or SBI clerks prelims, right? May be asked, may not be asked, but then the concept remains the same, the approach remains the same. So we will try and solve 3 to 4 puzzles today, right? And I am honestly going to take up some simple ones so that we can progress in our live sessions when we move forward, right? The next time when we meet for a live class, we will do more and more of difficult puzzles, right? But I want to start at a simpler level there. So 3 or 4 puzzles and then some independent questions. And if you're all set, we can start with the first one. I see many of you have joined the chat here. Piyush, and then we have Naresh, Rishi, Mahesh, Bharat, Prakash, Anil, Vidya, Uday Kumar. We have Harita. Good evening, guys. We have a question from Bharat here who says how to solve questions on statements and assumptions and statements and conclusions. Well, Bharat, honestly, the questions on statements and assumptions or statements and conclusions come under this critical reasoning, which is more of perception based, right? Many a times it so happens that you think option B should be right, but I may say no, option C is correct, right? Different people have different perceptions, different opinions, right? But one strategy that always or most of the times works with such questions is elimination. Instead of trying to find out what the right answer is, try to find out what the wrong answers are, and that is always easy to do, right? So I think try to follow the elimination technique, it helps. and we will deal with those questions in our sessions to come. So I think let's get started. I've got a go ahead from many of you there. Let me present the first question to you all, and I mean there are many there. Let's start with something based on assignment, right? Assignment or finding out different attributes for a group of persons, and the question is on your screens now. Just a second. Something is wrong with my presentation here. Just give me a minute while I fix it. Okay. Alright, sorry about this trouble, guys. I think I need to get the help from the technical team. Just give us a minute and I'll present the question to you all. Alright, guys, apologies for that small trouble that I had, but I'm good to go now. So the first question is on your screens here. As you can see, this is on assignment. Let me quickly take you through this question. What does it say? 7 players A, B, C, D, E, F and G hail from 3 different cities, Hyderabad, Bangalore and Mumbai. 3 of them play chess and 2 each play hockey and badminton. Each chess player is from each of these cities. And then some clues given to us, right? C plays badminton and is from Hyderabad. D plays hockey. D and G are the only players from Bangalore and so on. So you know what needs to be done, right? 7 players, 7 different, or not 7 different sports actually, 3 different sports there. Chess, hockey and badminton in 3 different cities, Hyderabad, Bangalore and Mumbai. You have to do the assignment. It's a simple one, should not take more than a couple of minutes. Your clock starts now. Trust all of you are trying it out. Please keep me posted to the chat there. Alright, Ankit Agarwal has already done it. Good to see that, Ankit. One more minute and then we will look at the solution. It's a simple one, should not take so much of your time. Uday Kumar has also got it. Waiting for more responses. Vidya Rajan has done it and so has Niti. So let's quickly look at the solution now. Here we go. Okay, so what does it say? 7 players A, B, C, D, E, F and G hail from 3 different cities, Hyderabad, Bangalore and Mumbai. 3 of them play chess and 2 each play hockey and badminton. So basically we have got 7 different persons, we have got 3 different cities and we have got 3 different sports here, right? Or games, chess, hockey and badminton. Each chess player is from each of these cities. So 3 chess players, 1 each from Hyderabad, Bangalore and Mumbai. That's very clear, right? Each chess player is from each of these cities. C plays badminton and is from Hyderabad, D plays hockey, B and G are the only players from Bangalore and so on. So let's start assigning these attributes to the persons here. I think what you can do is list down the names first, A, B, C, D, E, F and G. Now what do we know? The first point that we know is each chess player is from each of these cities. C plays badminton and is from Hyderabad. So C plays badminton and he is from Hyderabad. Remember the 3 cities that we have are Hyderabad, Bangalore and Mumbai. Okay, we do not know how many are from each of these cities, but these are 3 cities that we are trying to block here. Now C plays badminton and is from Hyderabad. D plays hockey. We do not know the city. D plays hockey, that is clear. D and G are the only players from Bangalore. See, D and G are the only players from Bangalore. So obviously D is from Bangalore, that we know. And G also is from Bangalore. D also is from Bangalore, right? We are taking the sports in the second column and cities in the third column. Now what is really important is the word only here, right? This is very, very important to know. D and G are the only players from Bangalore. So there are only 2 players from Bangalore, which are D and G. So now I can conclude that Bangalore is closed, right? We have closed the chapter of Bangalore. We know which 2 are from Bangalore here, right? So now remaining guys E, F, A and D will either be from Hyderabad or Mumbai. No 2 players belonging to the same city play the same game. No 2 players from the same city would play the same game, which means now this guy G from Bangalore cannot play hockey. Yes or no? What does it say? No 2 players from the same city play the same game. We know that D and G are from the same city. They cannot play the same game, which means if D is playing hockey, G will not be playing hockey, right? Let me list the sports as well: chess, hockey and badminton, right? So D will not be playing hockey. G cannot play hockey, either chess or badminton. Now we also know that each chess player is from each of these cities. Each chess player, there are 3 chess players, right? 1 each from each of these cities. So obviously there should be one chess player from Bangalore, and that has to be G. Now we can conclude that G plays chess, because if you allocate badminton to G, then there won't be any chess player from Bangalore. But the data says that there is 1 chess player from each of the cities. So G plays chess. So Bangalore is fully done now, right? Bangalore is fully done. Move on. Next point. None of the hockey players is from Hyderabad. none of the hockey players is from Hyderabad. So if you've got one badminton player from Hyderabad, the other player from Hyderabad should be playing chess. He cannot be playing hockey because none of the hockey players is from Hyderabad. Now what do you understand from this? See, we know that there are 2 players in Bangalore. Now it is also clear that there will be only 2 players from Hyderabad. We have already got one badminton player. Hockey players are not from Hyderabad, so Hyderabad players are not playing hockey. And one person from Hyderabad should be playing chess. So there can be only 2 players from Hyderabad, which leads to the conclusion that remaining 3 are from Mumbai. And that balances the 7 players. 2 plus 2 plus 3. You getting it? So one more player from Hyderabad who would be playing chess, and the other 3 are from Mumbai playing chess, hockey and badminton. Look at this. F is from Hyderabad. Now can I say F is from Hyderabad, which means F is playing chess? Yes. So Hyderabad's chapter is also closed. We know there are only 2 from Hyderabad. We have already had C from Hyderabad playing badminton. Now F is from Hyderabad and he would be playing chess. He cannot be playing hockey here because hockey is not from Hyderabad. Next, B does not play either chess or badminton. B does not play chess or badminton. Look at this. If B does not play chess or badminton, B should be playing hockey. And obviously B will be from Mumbai. In fact, the remaining guys are from Mumbai. Yes or no? The remaining 3 players have to be from Mumbai. So in terms of allocation of cities, it's done. All of those have been attributed to these players. And B does not play chess or badminton, so B plays hockey. E does not play badminton. E does not play badminton. E does not play badminton. See, hockey from Mumbai is done. Hockey from Mumbai is done. E does not play badminton. E does not play badminton, and he's from Mumbai. He cannot be playing hockey also, because one point was given here, right? No 2 players from the same city play the same game. So hockey for Mumbai is done. In fact, hockey overall is done. We know E does not play badminton. So if E is not playing badminton, he should be playing chess. Right? And you see last statement, no person plays more than 1 game. No person plays more than 1 game. I mean, that I thought was anyway clear to us, because he has very clearly stated that 3 of them play chess and 2 each play hockey and badminton. So what is left out? A is left out, and A is from Mumbai. See, we have already got chess player from Mumbai and hockey player from Mumbai. So what is left? Badminton. A would be playing badminton, and that's about it. Explanation has taken a little longer, obviously because I'm explaining to you, but when you do it yourself, you will be able to do it much faster. Let's quickly answer the questions. You see, answering questions is going to be a cakewalk. 3 players hail from which city? 3 players hail from which city? Mumbai. We know this already. Which of the following groups of players play chess? Who are those 3 guys who play chess? E, F and G. See, all 3 of them are playing chess. E, F, G. Option 1. Which of the following pairs of players play badminton? Which of the following pairs of players play badminton? Who play badminton? A plays badminton and C plays badminton. So A and C. A and C. A and C, I think, is none of these. Right? Which game does G play? We already know that G plays chess, right? G plays chess. Which game does A play? What does A play? A plays badminton. Yeah. A plays badminton. Option 3 would be the answer. So, see, very, very simple. Answering these 5 questions would take about 30 seconds. Doing that assignment will take about 90 to 120 seconds. So, overall, I think in about 2.5 minutes, you should be able to complete this. No complexity at all. However, when you go for the real exam, there can be more than 7 pages, right? Usually we have these floor-based puzzles, right? Floor-based puzzles, which are also similar. Assignment problems. 12 different people on 12 different floors. Each one likes a different game. Each one has a different color and so on. Concept is the same, right? What is important to be noted here is, as and when something is filled and something is over. Like, for example, immediately we knew that the 2 players from Bangalore are F and G, let's say, or E and F, whoever they are. And these are the only 2 pairs. You strike off Bangalore from your list. So what happens next time when you're trying to allocate either this or that, it will become easier. Bangalore is already closed. It should either be Hyderabad or Mumbai. If you don't strike off Bangalore there, you will still have that option of Bangalore being possible. So eliminating what is already done helps complete the arrangement faster without getting confused there. Okay? Clear to all of you? I think we can move on to the next question now. I'm sure it was a simple one and there should not be any confusions with regards to this. Let's move on. Okay, let me take up a question on blood relations. This again is not very complex. It's about mapping 7-8 persons to their family, where there are some married couples, children, and different relations are given to you. You have to complete that and then answer the questions. So this again is to kind of introduce ourselves to blood relation. In our sessions in future on reasoning, we will take more difficult questions on blood relations. I mean, this in my view is easy to crack. However, let's try it out. So here's the question. M, N, P, Q, R, S, T and U are 8 family members. 3 couples are there in the family. They along with their children live in different cities among Kolkata, Patna and Ranchi, but not necessarily in the same order, and then some data given to you. Let's see how many of you are able to get this one. Done? All right, I think many of you have done this already, so let's take it up. Here we go. So this is on blood relations. Look at what does it say. M, N, P, Q, R, S, T and U are 8 family members, right? M, N, P, Q, R, S, T and U are 8 family members. 3 couples are there in the family. They along with their children live in different cities among Kolkata, Patna and Ranchi, but not necessarily in the same order. Okay, so 8 members to be arranged according to the relations here, right? 3 couples are there in the family, right? 3 couples are there in the family. Very common question that by the way. I'm sure if you have been preparing for bank exams, you must have come across such questions many times already. So 3 couples, and then there are 3 different cities, Kolkata, Pune and Kolkata, Patna and Ranchi. And what it says is they along with their children live in 3 different cities. So 3 couples in 3 different cities basically. 3 couples live with their children in 3 different cities, Kolkata, Patna and Ranchi, not necessarily in the order. Now look at the statements. Q is the mother of M and R. Q is the mother of M and R. See, gender is very, very important, right? Q is the mother of M and R. Very clearly, Q is female. Genders of M and R are not known to us. Both can be daughters of Q. Both can be sons of Q. One can be daughter, the other can be son. However, just try and take it up. Q is the mother of M and R. And then if you read the next statement immediately, M is the father of S and uncle of T. M is the father of S and uncle of T. So M is a male person here because the relationship is father, right? M is the father of N and uncle of T. So clearly we have already got 3 generations, right? Q is in the first generation, let's say. M and R now we can conclude are in the second generation because they are siblings. M and R are siblings. And M is the father of S and uncle of T. So S and T are in the third generation. So we have got 3 generations here, right? You can put them in that order now. So Q is the mother of M and R. So Q is the mother of M, who's the son of Q, and his sibling is R. His sibling is R. Now M is the father of S. M is the father of S and uncle of T. And uncle of T. See, M is the father of S does not mean S is the son of M. Many of us commit this mistake. The moment we read M is the father of S, we jump to the conclusion that S is the son of M, which need not be the case, right? S can be the son or daughter of M. So don't try to decide the gender of S immediately. We do not know. Gender of S is not known to us. M is the father of S and uncle of T. See, M is the uncle of T means what? M's sibling's child is T. Now that sibling could be R or can be some other person. You are getting it? M is the father of S and uncle of T. So T can be R's son, R's child. T can be R's child, or it is also possible that they have got another sibling, M and R have got a third sibling, and T is the child of that sibling. Yeah? So we'll have to figure out, is T the child of R or somebody else in this group of siblings here. If we don't find anybody else in the group of siblings, we can allocate T to R. We can assume that T is the son of, or T is the child of R, not the son of R, but T is the child of R. However, this is the mapping so far. So 4 persons have been mapped already. Q, M, S and R. Of course, T will come here in this third generation. T is going to come here. It can either be the son of R or it can either be the child of R. I'm sorry, I'm used to saying son, but that's not the right thing to do. T is either the child of R or the child of R's sibling, M and R's sibling. Yeah. The one who is married with you lives in Kolkata. The one who is married with you lives in Kolkata. Now, who's married with you, we do not know. It can be Q who's married to you, M who's married to you, or maybe R is married to you. We do not know. U is the only sister-in-law of N. U is the only sister-in-law of N. So U is the only sister-in-law of N indicates that U is female. Yes or no? And if U is female, U cannot be married to Q because Q is already female, right? Q's partner, spouse should be male. M's spouse should be female. Right? Q's partner should be male. M's partner should be female here. So we know that U is the sister-in-law of N. U is the sister-in-law of N. So U can be M's partner or can be R's partner if R is male. Who is the daughter-in-law of P? Who is the daughter-in-law of P? Now see, who here refers to whom? Who here refers to U basically. We have discussed this in our reasoning videos, right? Whenever we have who refers to N, It refers to the preceding person, right? It refers to the preceding person. U is the only sister-in-law of N. Who is the daughter-in-law of P? N is the daughter-in-law of P. N here N here is the daughter-in-law of P. Whenever we have who and which, we usually refer to the preceding person. So N is the daughter-in-law of P. Daughter-in-law of P. So if you try to understand the situation so far, we already have 1 and 2 persons here in the first generation. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Total there are 8 family members, of which we know that 8 positions are indicated here, right? 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6 are the children R. And there are 3 couples here. So it is most likely that R is married. R is married. So Q with the spouse becomes first couple, M with the spouse becomes second couple, R with the spouse becomes third couple. So 3 couples, 6 persons overall, and their 2 children. That makes it 8 overall. So looks like R is also married. That's the most likely case, right? Now you may say, how do you know R is married? It could be that R is not married, but one of the grandchildren is married. S is married or T is married. Yes, fine. S is married or T is married. But then the question that comes is, where did T come from? Because T is M's sibling's child. If R is not married, somebody else should be married in M's sibling. You're able to follow. T will not just come from nowhere, right? T is not M's child. T is M's sibling's child. And that sibling has to be R. If you say there is another sibling, then the count is increasing. If M has got, let's say, another sibling, another brother or sister, X, and X is married to somebody, so that couple and this couple, 4, this is the third couple, 6, 7, 8 and 9. You understand? It is breaking the logic somewhere or the other if you assume that R is not married. So it's clear that R is married. R is married. Now read the statement. The one who's married with you lives in Kolkata. We will come back to that later. U is the only sister-in-law of N. Who is the daughter-in-law of P? Now we are talking about daughter-in-law. We know that daughter-in-law is only in the second generation now. First generation will not have daughter-in-law. And this third generation is not married at all. So daughter-in-law of P. P has got a daughter-in-law. And I can now conclude that P is the grandfather. Now read it again. U is the only sister-in-law of N. Who is the daughter-in-law of P? Who is the daughter-in-law of P? U is the only sister-in-law of N. U is the only sister-in-law of N. Do we know the gender of R? Not immediately. Okay. S neither lives in Patna nor with her aunt U. S, okay, last statement, if you see, S neither lives with Patna nor with her aunt. See, these pronouns are important. Her here refers to whom? Her refers to S. Her refers to S, right? S neither lives in Patna nor with her aunt. Her indicates S. So S is being associated with her, right? So S is female. S is female. T gender is still not known to us. So how do you complete this tree now? What do you think will be the relationship? How do you map them? You understand? Only, and then now I can conclude that T is the child of R. So if you read the statements again, you see very simple. Q is the mother of M and R. Q is the mother of M and R. M is the father of S and uncle of T. So M is the father of S, uncle of T. So M's brother or sister R and their child is T. The one who's married with you lives in Kolkata. The one who's married with you lives in Kolkata. Now there are two possibilities. Either M is married with you or R is married with you. Right? Either M is married with you or R is married with you. Right? And if you read the last statement, you see S neither lives in Patna. S neither lives in Patna nor with her aunt U. So who is U married to? See, U very clearly is the aunt of S. S neither lives in Patna nor with her aunt U. U is the aunt of S. Aunt of S meaning what? Aunt of S is these are S's parents. So U cannot be S's mother, right? If U is the aunt of S, she cannot be S's mother. So U has to come here. And then N has to come here. Now everything falls in place. So U is the only sister-in-law of N. So U is female. Yes or no? U is female, which obviously makes R male. And you see, U is the only sister-in-law of N. Yes, U is the only sister-in-law of N. U's sister-in-law of N. N's husband's brother's wife. Your husband's brother's wife is like your sister-in-law. So U is the only sister-in-law of N. Who is the daughter-in-law of P? N is the daughter-in-law of P. S neither lives in Patna nor with her aunt U. Right? So nor with her aunt U made it clear that U is married to R. This last part, nor with aunt U, made it clear that U is married to R. Now look at this. How do you find out the cities? So these are the three couples, Q, P, M, N and R and U. T's gender is not known. Among all these people, I think T's gender is not known. There is no way that we can figure out the gender of T. Okay, the one who is married with you lives in Kolkata. The one who is married with you lives in Kolkata. So this family here lives in Kolkata because R is married with you. He along with his family will live in Kolkata. S neither lives in Patna. S does not live in Patna. S does not live in Patna, meaning S's family will not live in Patna. This branch will not live in Patna. So who would live in Patna? These guys live in Patna. So obviously this third couple and M along with their daughter S will live in Ranchi. That's it. That completes the blood relation. Okay. Look at the questions now, quickly. Who among the following is the husband of Q? Who is the husband of Q? P is the husband of Q. Option 3. How is R related to M? How is R related to M? R and M. R is the brother of M, right? How is R related to M? R is the brother of M. Option 1. How is S related to P? How is S related to P? S to P. S is the granddaughter of P, right? P's son's daughter, granddaughter. So S is the granddaughter of P. How many female members are there in the family? I think this cannot be determined. See, definitely 1, 2, 3 and 4 are females, but T can also be female and T's gender is not known to us. So the number of male and female members cannot be determined. Okay, so no, how many female members are in the family? It can be greater than or equal to 4. Greater than or equal to 4. That is the reason the answer cannot be determined. Right? And the last question here is, which of the following pairs is a pair of husband and wife? Who are the pairs? QP, MN, RU. QP, MN, RU. RU is a pair of husband and wife, right? RNU is a pair of husband and wife. So, again, the same conclusion. Answering those 5 questions would not take much time, but quickly do the arrangement. I'm sure you will definitely find this to be lengthy because when we do it ourselves, right, whether it's me or you, we don't talk so much. We don't read out what we are doing, right? I'm reading out what I'm doing because explanation is required. So don't go by the amount of time that we have spent here, right? It is for the slowest person who's trying to follow the question here. You should be definitely doing it faster than how much time you have spent here. Okay, so that is the solution. If you're all clear, we can move to the next one now. Chalo, let's move on. Take up the next one now. Next question. Should we try one more puzzle? Here's the question. Try this now. 4 friends, Amar, Dev, Chandan and Bhushan, are playing Ludo. They played Ludo 6 times. One of them won the game thrice, another one twice, another one only once, and one of them lost all the games. All of them chose their favorite colors in the game among red, yellow, blue and green. And there are 5 points given to you. Again, a kind of assignment. There are 4 friends, 4 different colors and 4 different numbers. One person won the game thrice, one person has won it twice, one person has won it once, and one of them lost all the times, meaning he has won it 0 times. So you understand, the number of wins are 3, 2, 1, 0. So this is one of the attributes. The second attribute is colors. And of course, you have to map this to the 4 persons here. Amar, Dev, Chandan and Bhushan. So you have about 2-3 minutes for this again. The clock starts now. 4 persons, 4 different colors and 4 different numbers. Ankit says, I have a problem with coding related problems, especially with special characters. Ankit, so let's do one thing. We will take up some coding based questions of that type in our next session. Is it done? Okay, I see Sama has done it already, and so has Neeraj, Prabhakar and Kala. Waiting for a few more responses before we jump into this discussion. Quick. I'm sure it is not a very difficult one. It's easy rather, but simple enough to confuse sometimes. So be very, very meticulous when you're reading these statements. One more minute and then we will take this up. Okay, more of you have done it now. Alekhya, Uday Kumar, Umakant, Pratap, Ankit, Shiva. Alright guys, the time is up, so here we go. Look at this. So there are 4 friends, Amar, Dev, Chandan and Bhushan, who are playing Ludo. They played Ludo 6 times, right? 6 times. One of them won the game thrice, another won it twice, another one only once, and one of them lost all the games, right? So if you see, total they have played it 6 times, of which one person has won it thrice, one person won it twice, there was a third person who won it only once, and the fourth one lost all the 4 games, so he has won it 0 times. So if you observe, 3 plus 2 plus 1 plus 0 makes it 6. It's balanced, right? 6 wins are distributed as 3, 2, 1 and 0. All of them chose their favorite colors in the game, which is red, yellow, blue and green, one of these 4. So basically you know what needs to be done, right? 4 persons, Aman, Bhushan, okay, I'm just taking them in alphabetical order, A, D, C, B, so A, B, C, D. Aman, Bhushan, Chandan and Dev. You have to find out the color and the wins, number of wins. Very, very simple. 4 colors and the wins there. Look at the point. The first one. The one who has won twice is neither Amar nor the one who likes blue color. The one who has won it twice. So the one who has got 2 wins is neither Amar. So we can conclude that Amar will not have 2 wins. 2 cannot come for Amar. And the one who likes blue color. 2 will not come for the one who likes blue color. Okay, keep this in mind. So I think first point is done. We have read the first statement and made the markings there, right? Amar will not get 2 and 2 will not go for blue. So first statement is done. Don't read it again. Very, very important approach here. When you read these statements, if you can mark them in the arrangement or somehow represent it pictorially, it will save a lot of time. So I know that this point has to be satisfied and this point also has to be satisfied. First point is done. Second one, the one who likes yellow color does not win the game more times than Dev. The one who likes yellow color does not win the game more times than Dev. How will I write it pictorially? See, I cannot do any marking for this particular statement, but what I can write is yellow will be less than Dev. Now obviously, how can yellow be less than Dev? The idea is number of wins of yellow should be less than the number of wins of Dev. Yes or no? The one who likes yellow color does not win the game more times. Does not win it more times. So obviously he wins it less number of times than Dev. So second point is also done. I will not revisit that statement now. Okay. Third point, Bhushan likes red color. Very, very straight. Bhushan likes red color. The one who likes green color is the best performer. The one who likes green color is the best performer. How do you indicate this? Simple. Green will get 3. 2 will not get blue. Green will get 3. Or 3 will get green, whichever way you want to take. And yellow will be less than Dev. And what's the last point? Amar does not like yellow. Amar does not like yellow. So yellow will not come for Amar. Amar does not like yellow. And Dev does not like green. Dev does not like green. So if you observe now, I will not have to read these statements again. Everything has been noted here on the right hand side. What can you input? Amar will not get 2 wins. Amar will not get yellow color. B likes red color, fine. C, we have no clue at all. D will not like green color. D does not like green color. What else do we know? 2 will not go to the one who likes blue color. Yellow should be less than Dev. So whoever has liked yellow color will have less number of wins than Dev. And green will go for 3 wins, right? Green will go for 3 wins. Okay, green will go for 3 wins. Now try to observe what can be done. If you see, red is fixed. Out of the colors, red is fixed, right? Red is fixed. Blue, the only thing we know is 2 will not go for blue. Green, we know green and 3 will go together. Yellow, I think something can be done about yellow. I'll tell you how. You see, can yellow come for A? No, yellow cannot come for A. Yellow cannot come for A. Why can't yellow come for A? Because very clearly we have indicated yellow does not come here. B's already got red. Can yellow come for C or D is the question now. Where will yellow go? Will it go for C or D? See, we know that yellow is less than D. Somewhere we have read something and made this marking, right? Made this point that yellow will be less than D, which means the person who likes yellow color is different from the person who likes Dev. Since yellow and Dev are being compared here, the person who likes yellow color is different from the person Dev. So yellow cannot be Dev, or Dev cannot like yellow color. Because if Dev likes yellow color, how can Dev himself be less than Dev? You're getting my point? Logical deduction, right? Yellow and Dev cannot be the same person. I mean, Dev cannot be the person who likes yellow. Because then Dev will become lesser than Dev, which is not possible. So yellow cannot be going for Dev, and yellow cannot go for A. Yellow does not come for A, yellow does not come for D, yellow does not come for B. So obviously yellow comes for C. Done. We know that green does not come for D. We know that green does not come for D. So obviously green has to come here. And the only color left out is blue. So the marking of colors is done. All the colors are marked. Red, yellow, blue, green are marked. Right? Now go for the number of wins. Very clearly, we know that green will take 3 wins. So A has got 3 wins. So that point is done. Right? Of course, these points are also satisfied. These points we have used. This point also we have used. Now what else? We know that 2 will not go for blue. So 2 cannot come here. Yes or no? 2 will not go for blue. So 2 does not come here. Now 2 can either come for red or yellow. 2 can either come for red or yellow. Now try and understand. If you put 2 for yellow, 2 can either come for red or yellow. If you put 2 for yellow, for the sake of argument, 2 should be less than what? Dev. The number of wins of yellow is 2. So 2 should be less than the number of wins of Dev, which means Dev should have 3 wins. Only then 2 will become less than 3, right? Dev cannot have anything other than 3. If yellow is 2, then Dev should be 3. But is Dev 3? No, Dev is not 3. This fellow A, Ashutosh or Amar is 3. A is 3, right? Can Dev be 3? No, there's only one person who has won 3 games. Dev cannot be 3, which means yellow cannot be 2. So 2 cannot come for blue, 2 cannot come for yellow, so 2 has to come for red. Right? Now, yellow should be less than Dev. Yellow should be less than Dev. See, this is Dev. Yellow should be less than Dev. So obviously, Dev should take 1 and yellow should take 0. Yes or not? Last verification point is this. Yellow has to be less than Dev. Can yellow be 1? No. If yellow is 1, then Dev will become 0. How will 1 be less than 0? So yellow should be 0 and Dev should be 1. And that's what gives us the final answer. A, B, C, D are the names of the persons. Green, red, blue, yellow and blue is the sequence of colors. And 3, 2, 0, 1 is the sequence of wins. And that's how you do it. So what are the important conclusions? Number 1, there are a lot of clues given in such puzzles. Try to read the clue, the English statement, and either fix it in the arrangement, the skeleton that you have made, or make some picture out of it. Picture as in some representation of that. It goes to that, A goes to green color or whatever that could mean, right? The advantage of this is if you have everything written in some convention there around the skeleton of your puzzle, you don't have to read the data again and again. What takes time, if you reflect on this, what usually takes time is reading that data, reading that statement again and again. Avoid that. How can you avoid that? If you very smartly note down whatever you have read and understood from that, and try to fix each of these small pieces that you have made into the arrangement. Close it. Not just for this puzzle, for every type of puzzle, I think that's the strategy that has always worked for me, and I'm sure it will work for you as well. Okay, so have your own way of writing down things. Like for example, many times in puzzles we see that there are 3 people between A and D. Now note that, you don't have to read that statement again. There are 3 people between A and D, I'll write A, 3D. And my understanding is there are 3 people between A and D, and I'll put a double-headed arrow on top of A and D. Meaning, see, there are 3 people between A and D means what? It can be A dash 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 D or D dash 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 A. Both are possible, right? So that double-headed arrow for me indicates that they can be swapped. It can be A3D or D3A. But suppose even direction is given to you that A is 4th to the left of D. A is 4th to the left of D means what? D is here, A is 4 to the left of D. Go on the left of D. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then it is perfect. D dash 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 A. You're getting it? So make such pictures, small pieces basically, branches, which can be fixed in the arrangement. Now let's quickly look at the questions that have been asked with this data and move to the next one then. Here we go. Who among the following won the game twice? Who has won the game twice? B. Bhushan. Which of the following combination is true? Amar red 3. Amar red 3, no. First one is wrong. I'll have to just check the options. Dev blue 1. Is it correct? Dev blue 1. Yes, Dev blue 1 is correct. Option 2. Option 2 we can say. And obviously the remaining options have to be wrong because there's no combinations given there otherwise, right? Like 1 and 2 are correct or 2 and 3 are correct. Those kind of combinations not given. So option 2 itself is correct. How many times did Amar and Dev together win the game? Amar and Dev together. Amar has won it thrice. Dev has won it once. Together they have won it 4 times. Who among the following likes blue color? Who likes blue color? Dev likes blue color. How many times did Amar win the game? Amar has won it thrice, right? Amar has won it thrice. 3 wins. Done. Simple. Clear all of you? Yeah. So I'm sure all of you have followed this. Not a very difficult one, but how quickly do you arrive at the answer matters, and that depends on how meticulously you read the given data. How do you find that hidden clues given there? So I think in this particular puzzle, that whole point about the guy who likes yellow has less number of wins than the guy Dev is the key. If you can follow that, it will fall in place. Otherwise, it will get complex and confusing. Chalo, let's move on. We have some interesting independent questions here. Let me present that to you. Here you go. Read this data and try to solve. I mean, you just have to understand what needs to be done and then try it out. Got it? Okay, no response yet. I am sure all of you are trying it out. Now let's discuss this together. Here we go. See what it says. And by the way, we have got 4 or 5 questions based on the same data. So I'll take up all these questions now. So look at what it says. 2 players play a game involving mathematical operations. A single digit natural number. A single digit natural number is first assigned to one of the players, termed the first player. He then performs a mathematical operation and the resulting value is passed on to the second player, who performs another mathematical operation on that result and again passes on the result back to the first player, and so on. The same continues in this manner until the second player completes his third operation. The permissible operations one can use are multiply by 2, divide by 2, add 2, subtract 2. No player uses any operation which has been used in the turn immediately preceding his turn. The number obtained at the end of the game is termed as the resultant number. So interesting question. Yeah. So let's get the context right. 2 players, they are playing a game which involves mathematical operations. You know these are the operations, right? Multiply by 2, divide by 2, add 2, and subtract 2, right? These are the operations that we have. A single digit natural number. Now what does it mean, single digit natural number? It means any number from 1 to 9, right? Any number from 1 to 9. You know what natural numbers are, right? Natural numbers are those which are used for counting. And it's a single digit number. So 1 to 9 is the set of numbers that we have. Is first assigned to one of the players who is termed as the first player. So there is the first player and second player, right? 2 players, first player and second player. This first player takes that number, performs one of these 4 operations and gives the number resultant value. Gives the resulting value to the second player. That second player again picks up one of these operations and gives the resultant to the first player. And then, this process continues. Continues till when? Till the second player completes his third operation. So try and observe first player, second player. The first player will do operation number 1. Then second player will do operation number 1. Then first player will do operation number 2. And then second player will do operation number 2. Third player will do operation number 3, and then first player will do operation number 3, and second player will finally do operation number 3. So these are the steps involved. He perform one operation, second player then performs an operation. Then he performs an operation, then he performs an operation. Then the first player performs one operation, second player performs one operation. So each of them performs 3 operations. And when will it stop? This will continue in this manner until the second player completes the third operation. Here is where it stops. So he does something, gives it to this player. Then he does first operation, gives it to him. Then it goes back to second player. Then it comes to the first player, and then it comes to the second player who does the operation finally. Now one point to be noted is no player uses any operation which has been used in the turn immediately preceding his turn. So we need to understand that in these 6 operations, repetition is not allowed. What type of repetition is not allowed? The preceding operation cannot be performed again. Like for example, let's say here, second player second operation was multiply by 2, then this cannot be multiplication by 2. It can be anything else, but it cannot be multiplication by 2. Because the preceding one is this, right? So whatever is preceding cannot be performed. Like for example here, let's say the first person in his first chance has done plus 2. So this fellow cannot do plus 2 here. He can do minus 2 into 2 divided by 2, but he cannot do plus 2. Later on plus 2 can be done, but here immediately plus 2 cannot be done. So whatever was the previous operation of your opponent cannot be done. Right? The previous operation of the opponent cannot be performed again. And whatever we obtain at the end of the game is termed as the resultant number. So this will give us the resultant number. So that's the whole story there. This is what is the story here. Okay, 6 operations between 2 persons. Simple operations, plus 2, minus 2, into 2, divided by 2. And they may do it in any order that they want, right? I mean, it's their choice. There's no confusion there. Now look at this, first question. So there are 5 questions based on this data. Here's the first one. What is the least possible resultant number? What is the least possible resultant number that can be obtained if the first number assigned to the first player is 6? So there are 6 operations. Now, if you actually see, to make it simple, you can just say the operations are first operation, second operation, third operation, fourth operation, fifth operation, sixth operation. Because this will be alternating between first player and second player. This is first player's operation, second player's operation, first player's operation, second player's operation, first player's operation, second player's operation. It doesn't matter. Basically, the sequence is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 operations have to be performed on an input number. There is an input value. On that input value, you give 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 operations. Are you able to follow? That doesn't matter. I mean, whether it has been done by first person or second person does not matter. So instead of saying first person's first operation, second person's first operation, then first person's second operation, second person's second operation, let's assume there are 6 operations. Now we have to find out the least possible resultant number. Resultant number is this one. This will give us the resultant number. So for an input, it will be resultant value after 6 operations. That can be obtained if the first number assigned to the first player is 6. And this input is 6. Input is 6. Now you keep performing the operations. What will be the least possible? The minimum resultant that we can obtain is the question. What is the minimum resultant that we can obtain is the question here. What is the minimum resultant that can be obtained? Minimum value that can you get, right? Least possible resultant number. Now try to observe. There are 2 amplifying operations and 2 reducing operations here. Like when you multiply a number by 2, it increases the value. When you add 2, it increases the value. But when you divide it by 2, the value decreases. When you subtract 2, the value decreases. Since we want the resultant to be minimum, what should we be doing from 1 to 6 in these steps? We should be only dividing and subtracting. Divide and subtract, divide and subtract, divide and subtract, divide and subtract. That's what you need to do. Generally, I mean, at a high level, that is understanding. For me to get the minimum value, I will divide and I'll subtract. I'll divide and I'll subtract. Or I'll subtract and I'll divide. That depends. Whether I do division first or subtraction first may give me different values, but that's the idea. Suppose he says I want maximum resultant. Let's say if you want maximum result in the 6th step, then what would we do? We will not use divisions and subtractions. We'll use additions and multiplications because I want to amplify the value. So I'll multiply by 2. If I actually want the maximum resultant without any conditions, I'll multiply by 2 in every step. Into 2, into 2, into 2, into 2, into 2, into 2. But that's not allowed. I cannot have same consecutive operations, right? If first step is into 2, second step cannot be into 2. So I'll add 2. Then I'll multiply 2. Then I'll add 2. Then I'll multiply 2. Then I'll add 2. Or maybe I'll add 2 first, then multiply 2. Then add 2, then multiply 2. Then add 2, then multiply 2. That is when maximum is required. But when minimum is required, just keep subtracting and dividing. Now the point is, it's very clear that we have to do subtraction and we have to do division. We have to do division. But should we do subtraction first or division first? It may give us different results. So let's try. Let's assume I subtract here. What happens? See, I'll only subtract 2. I cannot subtract anything else. So minus 2. Minus 2 will give us 4. Then I'll divide. Divide by 2. What happens? 4 divided by 2 will give me 2. Then I'll subtract. I can subtract, right? I should not be performing division again, but I can subtract. Operations can be repeated, but consecutive operations should not be repeated. Clear? So my idea is this. Subtraction, division, subtraction. Now subtract how much? 2. So if you subtract 2 from 2, it becomes 0. Then divide by 2. Now 0 divided by 2 will give me 0 only. Then subtract 2. It will give me minus 2. Then divide by 2. Are you able to follow? Subtraction, division, subtraction, division, subtraction, division. So 6 minus 2 gave me 4. 4 by 2 gave me 2. 2 minus 2 gives me 0. 0 divided by 2 gives 0. 0 minus 2 is minus 2. Minus 2 divided by 2. Now the point is, the moment I divide, see, now understand, we have come to a negative result already. In 5th step, we have come to a negative result. When the result is negative, the operations that we have discussed so far will give us converse results. On a negative number, when you divide, it reduces. I mean, it increases. A negative number when you divide, increases, the value increases, right? Like minus 10 by 2 is minus 5. Minus 5 is more than minus 10. I'm sure you understand this, but I'm just trying to get the idea right across, right? 10 by 2, when I divide 10 by 2, I'll get 5. 5 is lesser than 10. But when I divide minus 10 by 2, I'll get minus 5, and minus 5 is more than minus 10. So the point is, on a negative number, when you do division and subtraction, you will get larger numbers. You will not get smaller numbers. Or subtraction will also lead to a smaller number only. But when you divide a negative number, it will give you a larger number. When you multiply a negative number, it will give you a smaller number. Like minus 3 into 2 is minus 6. Minus 6 is further smaller, and that's my objective. I want the smallest number. So you have to now rethink. In this last step, if I divide minus 2 by 2, I'll get minus 1. and minus 1 is bigger than minus 2. So I am not intending to get a bigger number. I want minimum result. So I will not do division. I'll instead multiply. Let's multiply. If you multiply, what happens? Minus 2 into 2. I'll multiply by 2. It gives you minus 4. So the minimum result that I'm getting is minus 4. Minimum result that I've got in this way is minus 4. But who knows this is the minimum value? It can have a lesser value as well, right? Now that depends on your first step. So now in my second case, what I'll do is I'll start with 6. Starting point is always 6, but maybe I'll divide first and then I'll subtract. Then I'll divide, then I'll subtract. You're able to follow? Try both. You never know what happens. So 6 divided by 2 gives you 3. 3 minus 2 gives you 1. 1 divided by, you understand, 1 divided by 2 will give you 0.5. 0.5 minus 2 will give you minus 1.5. Are you able to follow? 6 by 2 gives 3. 3 minus 2 gives 1. 1 divided by 2 gives you 0.5. 0.5 minus 2 is minus 1.5. Now on this minus 1.5, what do you want to do? Can I multiply by 2? Yes. Multiply by 2. Minus 1.5 into 2 minus 3. I told you, right? We have already discussed. Once you get a negative number, then division will not help. The moment you get negative number, you should avoid division, because on a negative number, when division is done, it will raise the value. We want to decrease the value. So multiply by 2. Multiply by 2, it becomes minus 3. I would love to further multiply by 2 so that I get a smaller number, minus 6, but consecutive multiplications are not allowed. Can I multiply again? No, it's not allowed. So I'll subtract. From minus 3, subtract 2. Minus 3 minus 2 will give me minus 5. Now you see, minus 5 is actually smaller than minus 4. Yes or no? On a number line, what do we have? You have minus 1, this is 0, let's say, then minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, minus 5, minus 6. I've already got minus 5. So minus 5 means minus 4 is ruled out, minus 4.5 is ruled out, minus 3 is ruled out. Answer is either minus 5 or minus 6. Now can we get minus 6 is the question. There will always be this doubt. Can we get minus 6? I don't think we'll get minus 6. Whatever you do, you'll get minus 5 as the minimum value. Because till we get a negative result, subtractions and division is the best thing to do. Till we get a negative result. So here, when we start with subtraction, the negative result we get at step 5, minus 2. And I immediately multiply by 2 to get minus 4. When I start with divisions, the negative result I obtain at step 4, minus 1.5. Then I subtract, multiply by 3, then subtract. Yes or no? So minus 5 is the answer. Option 1, minus 5 will be the final answer to this question. I hope all of you have followed this. Now please do not go by the length of explanation or the time that we have spent here. Same story. Because I am explaining, we are discussing, so it takes longer. When you do it yourself, you will quickly perform the operations. And this is the first question that we are solving in this set. Understand, if this was a 1 mark question, I would have maybe avoided it. But there are 5 questions in this data, on the same data. So having understood the whole process now, the whole data now, the remaining 4 questions will not take as much time, because we already got the rhythm, right? We've got the crux of it. So now try the remaining 4 questions. Okay, so let me present the next question to you all. Here's the next one on the same data. Try this quickly. This time what does it say? See, till here everything is what we have read already. Only last part changes. What is the maximum possible resultant number that can be obtained? So there is input. What is the input? He has not told us. But you know what is the range of the input? 0 to 9. We have discussed this already. Right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 steps. He says what is the maximum possible result that can be obtained? 86, 56, 46, 100, 121. Now for me to get maximum result, I should start with maximum value. What is the range? 1 to 9 is the range, right? For me to get the maximum result, I should start with maximum value. So let me take 9. Why will I start with 8? I'll start with 9. Now for us to get maximum result, we know we will choose only multiplications and additions. We will avoid divisions and subtractions. We have already understood this. So start. Now would you want to start with multiplication first or subtraction addition first is your choice. So let me say plus. So it becomes 11. Multiplication 22. Then plus 24. Then multiplication 48. Then plus 50. Then multiplication will give me 100. You understand? I am alternating between addition and multiplication. I will not do subtractions and divisions because that's not the objective. Rule this out. So 9 plus 2, 11, into 2, 22, plus 2, 24, into 2, 48, plus 2, 50, into 2, 100. The moment I get 100, first, second and third options are eliminated because 100 is definitely possible. Now is it 100 or 121 is a question. Can we get 121 is a question. Can we get 121 is a question. Are you able to follow? Can we get 121 is a question. I think you can eliminate 121 also just by a simple logic that the final result cannot be odd. The final result cannot be odd. I'll tell you why it cannot be odd. Because whatever number, see, if it is less than 8, if it is less than 9, what can it be? 8. If this is 8, obviously final result will be less than 100, right? The only thing is, if I do multiplication first instead of addition, if I do multiplication, addition, I mean if I swap this, then can it become more than 100? It may become more than 100, but it cannot be 121. I'll tell you why it cannot be 121, because we are multiplying the result 3 times by 2, right? We are multiplying the results with 2. And you know that whenever you multiply a number by 2, it becomes an even number. Whether it is initially odd or even, into 2 will give you an even number. And on even number, when you add 2, you'll anyway get an even number. So my point is, logic is eventually my result is going to be even. So 121 is ruled out. When I have to do only additions and multiplications, that too only into 2 and plus 2, whenever I'm at some stage 3 times in these 6 steps, 3 steps will have into 2, into 2, into 2, which means it will result in even number. And when I have an even number and I'm adding even number to it, plus 2, I'll again get an even number. So final result has to be even. On that basis, I can eliminate 121. So 100 is the answer. If you want to try, you can try. See, there's no point in trying with anything less than 9. The only thing that you may want to try is multiplication first. Try multiplication first. What happens? Into 2, 18, plus 2, 20, into 2, 40, plus 2, 42, into 2, 84, plus 2, 86. Even only. Result is even. And definitely cannot be more than 100. So answer is option 4. You will not have to do this if you have understood my logic of number not being odd. If you don't get that logic, then try this. Between 100 and 86, 100 is bigger, so 100 is the answer. Next question. Try this now. And obviously you have seen that question number 2 did not take as much time as question number 1, because we already had the core of the procedure there. Try this one now. Got it? Here we go. If the first number assigned to the first player is 7 and the result obtained after second operation of the first player is 12. So now here, since first player, second player is involved, you have to be careful, or otherwise you can understand. Second operation of first player is step number 3. I can replace this with step number 3. You have understood step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 idea, right? So this is step number 3. Second operation of first player is step number 3, right? Which of the following can be the result after the third operation of first pair? Now, third operation of first pair is what? Third operation of first pair is 5th step. Step 5. So I'm simplifying the question now. If the first number assigned to the first pair is 7, which means input is 7. First number assigned to the first pair is nothing but input. So if the input is 7 and the result obtained after the step 3, second operation of first pair, step 3 is 12. Which of the following can be the result after step 5? The third operation of first pair is step 5. So now try this again. Input is 7. We know 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 steps are there. He says the result obtained in third step is 12. Third step will give you 12. Which of the following can be result after step 5? Result obtained after operation of the first layer. Third operation means what is this? Step 5. So step 6 is not required here. We're not going up to step 6. He has given input. He has given step 3. He's asking us to find out step 5. What can be step 5? Right? Now, for us to find out what can be step 5, see, there are many things that we can do. For us to get step 5, we already know step 3, right? Step 3 may we have 12. I can add, subtract, multiply, divide. In step 4, I can say plus 2 into 2 minus 2 divided by 2. And then again I can do plus 2 into 2 minus 2 divided by 2. But then, one important point is the operation in step 4 will depend on operation in step 3. Yes or no? I cannot repeat whatever has been done in step 3. So, while 4 possibilities are there in step 4, the actual operation done in step 4 depends on step 3. If addition is done in step 3, addition cannot be done here. If multiplication is done in step 3, multiplication cannot be done. So for me, it is important to find out what has been done in step 3. And for me to find out what has been done in step 3, step 2 is required. And for me to find out what has been done in step 2, step 1 is required. Because whatever is done in 1 cannot be done in 2. Whatever is done in 2 cannot be done in 3. Whatever is done in 3 cannot be done in 4. You already know this. So this explanation is taking time, but you already understand this idea. So find out in what way can you get 12 from input of 7. How can you get 12 from input of 7? So maybe if I do plus 2, 7 plus 2, 9, 9 plus 9 minus 2, 7, 7 into 2, 14, no. 7 by 2, 3.5, plus 2, 5.5, into 2, 11, no. 7 into 2, 14, minus 2, 12. But again 12 is in third step. See, into 2, 14, minus 2, 12, we'll get 12 in step 2 itself. But again third step cannot be 12 again, right? Without doing any operation. 7 minus 2, 5, into 2, 10. Yeah, I think this is what works. Minus 2, 7 minus 2, 5. 5 into 2, 10. 10 plus 2, 12. This is what will give me 12. In first step I'll do minus 2, so 7 minus 2, 5. In second step I'll do into 2, so 5 into 2, 10. Then third step if I do plus 2, I'll get 12. Now what has happened? I know that in step 4 I cannot add 2. In step 4 I cannot add 2 because addition was done in third step. I can multiply, divide or subtract. Right? Multiply, divide or subtract. And then again based on whatever I've done in step 4, I can do something in step 5. So there are 3 into 2, 6 different values possible. From here 6 different things can be done. Or 3 into 3, 9 different things can be done. 9 different results can be obtained. He's saying which of the following can be the result. Which of the following can be the result. So if the one thing to do is try 3 operations here and accordingly 3 operations here. 3 into 3 we'll get 9 different results. But that will be taking too much of time. Or the other thing is go by options. See if options, like for example, can 16 be the result? Can 16 be the result on 12? No. Because I cannot do plus, right? I can do minus 2, 10 into 2 divided by 2 plus 2, not possible. So find out what can be the result. See, I can always do minus 2 plus 2, right? If there are 2 steps involved, if I do minus 2, I'll get 10. Again, if I do plus 2, I'll get 12. And 12 is there in the options. So I can say option 4 is the answer. See, he's saying which of the following can be the result? Possibility. Can be the result means possibility. Is it possible to get 12? Yes, it is possible to get 12. I had 12 in step 3. I subtracted 2, I got 10. Then I added 2 again, I got 12. The result can be 12 in step 5. So I'm not worried about whatever 9 results those are. And I'm not worried about 1, 2, 3 and 5. I can get 12, so option 4 is the answer. I hope all of you have followed this. I mean, actually 9 results are possible because 3 types of operations can be done in step 4. So we'll get 3 different results. On those 3 results, each of them we can perform 3 different operations. Because the preceding one cannot be repeated. So 3 into 3 will give us 9 different results. Either find out all those 9 results and then check which of those is possible. Or logically 12 minus 2 plus 2 will give us 12 again. And 12 is one of the options. Again, this is depending on you, right? Whether you get that idea or not in the exam. But if you don't get that idea, then you'll have to perform all the 9 operations. I mean all the 9 possibilities. Okay. So I think 12 is the answer for this one. Let's look at the next question. Here's the next one. The first number assigned to the first pair is 5. So basically input is 5, and the result after first operation of second pair. First operation of second pair is step 2. After step 2 it is 4.5. Which of the following is the maximum possible resultant at the end of the game? I mean, we have already solved this type of question. It's just that here one intermediary step is given. So try it out. Maximum possible result from step 2, if step 2 is 4.5. But remember, you cannot directly proceed with step 2. Like into 2 plus 2 into 2 plus 2 cannot be given. Cannot be done. It depends on what was done in step 2. Whatever was done in step 2 cannot be repeated, right? Keep that in mind. Don't just take 4.5 as the step 2 and then into 2 9 plus 2 11 into 2 22 plus 2 24. Don't do that. Because how we have got 4.5 matters here. Got it? Let's look at it. So input is 5. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5 and step 6. Okay. Now, the result after step 2 was 4.5. Now, how can you get 4.5 in step 2 is the question. The one thing I can think of is divided by 2 will give us 2.5 and then plus 2 will give us 4.5. Yes or no? So I've got 4.5 because I should know how I've got 4.5. This operation cannot be repeated here. Are you able to follow? When I divide 5 by 2, I get 2.5. When I add 2.5 with 2, I get 4.5. So it is clear how we can get 4.5 here. Now, we want maximum possible result. We have already discussed. To get maximum possible result, you can only do addition, multiplication, addition, multiplication, addition, multiplication, or multiplication, addition, multiplication, addition, multiplication, addition. Now, the fact that we have done addition here, addition cannot be repeated in step 3. So it should be into. This should be plus. This should be into. This should be plus. You know the answer. So 4.5 into 2, 9. Plus 2, 11. Into 2, 22. Plus 2, 24. So 24 is the answer. But remember, now some of you may say, why do we have to do all this drama? Step 1 and step 2. Why can't we directly into 2 plus 2? We can start doing into 2 plus 2 from 4.5. No, you cannot do that. Because what was used in step 2 is important for us. If let's say this was multiplication here, you should have done plus 2 here. And that will change the final result. So be careful. Okay? And the last one from this data. Quick. This is a simple one. Having solved 4 questions on this data, the last one I'm sure is easy to crack. Quick. Got it? Option 5 is what some of you have marked. Let us discuss this now. So which of the following can be the numbers obtained during the game, starting from the first number to the resultant number in that order? So which of the following can be the order? You see, each option has got 7 numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So basically first one is input, then the resultants of all the 6 steps. So which of the following can be the numbers? This is which of the following can be the numbers. So basically we have to find out what are the wrong answers, right? Now just perform, see, identify how the operations have been done. Like this is input, right? So 3 plus 2 will give 5, into 2 will give 10, divided by 2 will give 5, minus 2 will give, minus will give 3, minus 2 will give 3, into 2 will give 6, into 2 will give 12. See, 3 has become 6, meaning multiplication. 6 has become 12, meaning multiplication. Can we perform 2 multiplications together? No, that's not allowed. Remember? No player uses any operation which is misusing the term immediately preceding his name. So option 1 is eliminated because 2 consecutive multiplications are. So wherever you find 2 consecutive similar operations, eliminate that. Look at option 2. So this is from 6 we have got 4, meaning minus 2, then into 2 will give 8, then plus 2 will give 10, then plus 2 will give 12. So 8 plus 2 10, 10 plus 2 12. 2 consecutive additions eliminated. Here 7 minus 2 will give 5, into 2 into 2. You see, 5 has become 10, 10 has become 20. So 2 consecutive multiplications eliminated. Right? Try this now. Do you find anything wrong here? 9 minus 2 is 7, minus 2 is 5. You see, 9 minus 2, 7, 7 minus 2, 5. 2 consecutive multiplication, 2 consecutive subtraction, not allowed. So option 5 has to be the answer. I don't have to verify option 5 now. Option 5 has to be the answer because 1, 2, 3, 4 are eliminated. Anyway, if you want to check, just verify. 2 plus 2 gives you 4, into 2 gives 8, plus 2 gives 10, divided by 2 gives 5, plus 2 gives 7, minus 2 gives 5. So nothing is repeated, right? Plus, into, plus, division, plus, minus. So option 5 is the correct answer. So that's it. The interesting set of 5 questions on. So these are basically called these questions can be termed as logical series. It's a very old question format. I think 6-7 years ago, when in SBI clerks exam and even in SBI PO exam, they used to ask these type of questions. You are given these steps. You are told how to perform operation. I don't know how many of you remember this logical series question type where it says, if both the numbers are odd, then the first number is added to the second number. If both the numbers are even, then the first number is multiplied by the second number. If an odd number is followed by an even number, then you should subtract the first number from the second number, and so on. So 6 different steps they used to give. And then again, here we are talking about 2 players, playing turn by turn. There it's about numbers, 3 numbers in first row, 3 numbers in second row, and the third number in the second row is the resultant number. So that question type, if you remember and recall, it is similar to that. So the idea is you have been given the sequence of steps to be performed. You just have to perform it properly, the way they have given, and identify the answer. Very, very simple to solve. It's just a practice of that particular model. Clear? Alright, so I am sure all of you have followed this. There's no second thoughts to that. If you all give me a go ahead, I'll take up the next one. And probably the last question, because we've already spent close to 75 minutes or actually 105 minutes. One last question. I would like to take one more arrangement based question. I think somebody had told let's take something arrangement based. So maybe one question on arrangements. Let me see if we have something on arrangements. Yes, we have question on arrangement. Clear? Shall we move on? Ankit Agarwal already says bye. Okay, Ankit, you can move out. But the next question that we're going to solve is really very interesting. Now you have done circular arrangements, I'm sure. You have done linear arrangements, I'm sure. You might have also tried square table arrangements or rectangular table arrangements. We have done all these type of questions in our videos, right? Now, what's the difference in a rectangular table or a square table? It's like a circular table. It's like a circular table only because it's a closed loop, right? It's not an open loop like a linear arrangement. But when it comes to rectangular table and square table, see, in a circle, every seat is similar to the remaining seats. There cannot be a difference because it's uniform throughout, right? But a square is not uniform. Now you may say square is also uniform because all the four sides are equal, but in a square there are corners. So there can be people sitting on corners, people seated on sides, right? So that makes a difference. Likewise, in a rectangular table, there can be people who are seated at corners, people who are seated on sides. And another complexity in rectangular arrangements is there can be people seated on shorter sides and people seated on longer sides. So while it is like a circular arrangement, meaning if the person is facing the center, left is clockwise, right is anti-clockwise. If a person is facing outwards, left is anti-clockwise and right is clockwise. All that is applicable in circular, rectangular, square arrangements. What makes square table and rectangular table different from circular tables are that circular is uniform across. Rectangle and squares have got corners, have got shorter sides, have got longer sides. So you have to be very careful. You have to be very, very careful. But today's session, we are solving a completely different circular arrangement. I mean, it's not a circular arrangement, it's an arrangement on a table, but the table is triangular. 3 sides. Now, of course, triangle also has got corners, unlike circles. So there can be people seated on corners or people seated on sides. But then on the sides also, while the 3 sides can be equal, there's an added complexity. So let me present the question to you all. Let's see how many of you get it right. Here we go. Here's the question. Look at this. 12 persons, namely A1 to A12, are sitting around the triangular table facing inside. Now, what is the importance of facing inside here? Persons are facing inside, meaning what? Left is clockwise, right is anti-clockwise. Right? Now look at this. 1 person each is sitting in the corner of the table. So triangular table, it will have 3 corners. So 3 persons on 1 corner each. I mean, 1 person on 1 corner each. So 3 persons are already gone out of 12 persons. Now, how are the remaining 9 persons seated? Maybe we can say 3 persons on each side. But look at the next point. 2 persons are sitting along one side. 3 persons are sitting along second side. And 4 persons are seated along the third side of the table. So 2 plus 3, 5. 5 plus 4, 9. Plus 3 persons in the corners. That makes 12 persons. So if this is a triangular table, this is 1 person, this is 1 person, this is 1 person. 2 persons on one side. 3 persons on second side, 4 persons on third side. Now the big question is, how do you know, like if there were all 3 persons on each of the sides, then it would have been a lot easier. Then the only difference is the person sitting on corner or is the person sitting on side? Now there are questions. Is the person sitting on corner or person sitting on a side with 2 person side or 3 person side or 4 person side? You understand? So there are 4 different types of seats. If it is a circular arrangement and there are 12 persons, there is only 1 type of seat. Every seat is the same. In a square table, there are 2 types of seats. Corner seat, side seat. In a rectangular table, there are 3 types of seats. You know, if it is a rectangular table, there are 3 sides. Longer side seats, shorter side seats, and corner seats. Now this is a triangular table. There are 4 types of seats here. There is a corner seat. There is a seat on side with 2 persons. There is a seat on side with 3 persons, the seat on side with 4 persons. In total, there are 12 persons. So the game is on. Time starts now. Let's see how many of you get it right. I'll leave you with this for at least 3 to 4 minutes, and I'm sure all of you can get the output. It's just that you have to do it carefully. So your clock starts now. Alright, looks like Paul has already done it, and so has Vidya. Waiting for more responses. Ankit Agarwal says it's a difficult one. 1 more minute and then I'll take it up. Done. I can see some very interesting comments in the chat there. Like Sony says, what to do when the mind stops working? How do I rejuvenate, right? She seems to have solved it already in the past in our discussion forum, but now she's not able to. So Sony, I think, and then for everybody else out there, what to do when your mind stops working? Stop using it. And it works. I mean, the technique works, right? Don't get dejected. Because that's like a phase, that's like a time which will change. Change is constant, right? So stop using your mind when it stops working. Anyways, time is up. Let's come back to this and discuss the solution. Finally, Pratap has also got it. He says it's a very interesting one. I'll make it more interesting. So guys, time is over. This is what arrangement is all about. Every question is different, I told you. You must have solved hundreds of questions in the past, but you may not be able to solve the 101st one. Sometimes there are people who have not solved anything, but then they can solve the given question. And in fact, all of us can solve the questions, but we don't have time by our side. And time management is the key in such competitive exams. So that is the reason the opening statement that I made in the session was choose your questions wisely. And this should not be chosen in the exam. This is like a stunt which you should not. Usually when you see these stunts in reality shows, right, they say don't try this at home. This is being done under adult supervision. It's like that. Don't try this in the exam. Now you are trying it, good. You should try it now because you have unlimited time. But in the exam that doesn't happen. And what more than time, what happens is if you're unable to solve it when you're trying it out in the exam, you get disappointed. You feel like, boss, you're losing the game. I am not getting it. Maybe others have got it. That's the fear that we have. So the best way to avoid that fear is not to think about it, right? Just bypass this and move to the next question. So choosing questions wisely is the technique, and this should not be chosen. That's the best solution. Number one, this should not be chosen in the exam. Don't try this in the exam. And let me now make it really very interesting for you. This is a plain circular arrangement. I'm sure all of you can get the answer. Some of you have already got it. Others can get it if they try once again. But interesting way of solving it is not to take a triangular table. Actually take a circular table and just go ahead and do it. A triangular table and a circular table is no different from the directional sense, right? All the persons are facing center. On a circular table or on a square table or on a rectangular table or on a triangular table or on a quadrilateral table or on a hexagonal table or on any closed loop, a random closed loop, an amorphous closed loop. When you are facing the center, left is clockwise, right is anti-clockwise. When you're facing outwards, Left is anti-clockwise, right is clockwise. So that holds true for all the closed loops. Now the only difference here in this particular arrangement when compared to a circular table is that it has got 3 corners. It has got 3 corners. I'll tell you how to do this. Look at it. Very, very interesting and simple way to solve it. Here we go. So we have already understood this part, right? A triangle, it has got 3 corners. One side has got 2 people, the other side has 3 people, and the third side has got 4 people. Let's try it out. Okay, so you know this is what you want eventually. There are 12 persons, A1 to A12. One person is sitting in each corner of the table. It's a triangular table, all of them are facing inside. One person is sitting on each corner of the table. So 1, 2, 3. 2 persons are sitting along one side. 3 persons sitting on second side. And 4 persons are sitting on third side of the table. So on one side there are 2 persons. On one side there are 3 persons. And then on the other side there are 4 persons. Instead of dealing with all this complexity, right, I will just have a circular table with 12 posts. All of them are facing center. Here like all of them are facing center. Here also all of them are facing center. Mark 12 positions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now you might be wondering, how will you even try it? It's a circular table. The given thing is a triangular one. Let's start. See what happens. A1 is sitting second to the left of A7. Who is sitting second to the left of A8? Just do this. A1 is sitting second to the left of A7. Now let's assume this is A7. A1 is sitting second to the left of A7. Left of A7. Left is always clockwise when persons are facing center. Right is anti-clockwise. So in this particular arrangement, whenever we say left, we will go clockwise. Whenever we say right, we'll go anti-clockwise. So A1 is second to the left of A7. First and second. A1 is second to the left of A7. Who here refers to A7. Who is sitting second to the left of A8. So A8 would come here. See, A7 is second to the left of A8, A1 is second to the left of A1. Right? A1 is sitting second to the left of A7. Who refers to A7? A7 is second to the left of A8. If A7 is second to the left of A8, A8 will be second to the right of A7. So second to the right of A7. First and second. You understand? So that's how we have got A1, A7 and A8. Next. Next. A2 is sitting second to the left of A9. Now we neither have A2 nor we have A9, so forget about it. And is sitting second to the right of A8. And always refers to the first person. We have learnt all this in our videos. So we are referring to A2. He says A2 is second to the left of A9 and A2 is second to the right of A8. While A2 is second to the left of A9, A2 is second to the right of A8. Now A8 is already there. So second to the right of A8, first and second, this should be A2. You see, A2 is second to the right of A8. Now that we have got A2, we can also mark A9 because A9 is connected to A2, right? A2 is sitting second to the left of A9. A2 is sitting second to the left of A9. If A2 is second to the left of A9, A9 will be second to the right of A2. A2 is second to the left of A9. A9 will be second to the right of A2. So second to the right of A9. So what we have done so far is, we have considered a circular table, we have marked all this. A1 is second to the left of A7, who is second to the left of A8, A2 is second to the left of A9, and he is second to the right of A8. So this is done. So we have already got 6 persons. Out of 12 persons, 6 persons have been marked. Next one. A1 is sitting in the corner, whereas none of A7, A8, A2 and A9 is sitting in the corner. A1 is sitting in the corner. A1 is sitting in the corner, whereas none of A7, A8, A2, A9 is sitting in the corner. The whole point here is, like I told you, originally what we need is this triangular table with 3 corners, 2 on one side, 3 on one side and 4 on the other side. We have transformed this into a circular arrangement. But then how do you really understand the solution is this. All you have to do is from these 12 positions, identify those 3 corners. And obviously between 3 corners, there will be one pair which will have 2 people in between them. There will be one pair of corners will have 4 people in between them, and there will be third pair of corners will have 3 persons between them. That's it. So I already know that one of the corners is A1. This is a corner position. This is a corner position. You understand? A1 is sitting in the corner, whereas A7, A8, A2, A9 are not sitting in the corner. So A7 is not a corner position. A8 is not a corner position, A2 is not a corner position, A9 is also not a corner position. You getting it? A1 is a corner position. Now, definitely the other corner position will either be 2 places away from A1. You see, suppose this is A1. For example, assume this is A1. The other corner position will either be 2 places away, or will be 4 places away, or can be 3 places away. See, A1 can be this, or A1 can be here, or A1 can be here. All three are possible. So if A1 is here, the other corner will be 3 places away or 4 places away. If A1 is here, the other corner will be 2 places. So basically from this corner, the second corner may have 2 persons between them, or 3 persons between them, or 4 persons between them. Getting it? Anyways, move on. A4 is sitting to the immediate right of A5. A4 is on the immediate right of A5. But then we neither have A4 and A5 here. So just continue as it is. A5 is sitting to the immediate right of A6. A5 is sitting to the immediate right of A6. Now we neither have A5 or A6 here. But then if you try to merge these two statements, A4 is sitting to the immediate right of A5 and A5 is sitting to the immediate right of A6. How will it look like? For example, suppose this is A4. It says A4 is on the immediate right of A5. So A5 should be here. And A5 is on the immediate right of A6. A6 should be here. These three persons will come together. A4. Suppose this is like a circular table, right? This is like a circular table. 3 positions. 1, 2, 3. What does it say? A4 is on the immediate right of A5. So if this is A5, immediate right. If you make it look like a circular arc, A4 is on the immediate right of A5. Immediate right of A5 is anti-clockwise. A4 is on the anti-clockwise side of A5. And A5 is sitting on the immediate right of A6. A5 is on the immediate right of A6. So basically it's like an arc. 1, 2, 3. This will be A4, this will be A5, this will be A6. And 3 of them should be together. So A4 is on the immediate right of A5, A5 is on the immediate right of A6. Now see, where in this circular table, do you have 3 consecutive positions for A4, A5, A6? You see, in between A1 and A7, we have only 1 place. Here we have only 1 place. Here we have only 1 place. Here we have only 1 place. These are the 3 places available. So it's clear that A4, A5, A6 have to come here. It's clear that A4, A5, A6 have to come here. And the fact that A4, A5, A6 are given in the fashion that A4 is on the immediate right of A5, A5 is on the immediate right of A6. See, you just have to rotate this arc, take this piece of arc and try to fit it here. So what happens? A4 would come here, A5 comes here, and A6 comes here. Be careful, A4 is on the immediate right of A5, anti-clockwise. So A4 is on the immediate right of A5, A5 is on the immediate right of A6. Done or not? A4 is on the immediate right of A5, A5 is on the immediate right of A6. Don't take A6, A5, A4. Don't write in the converse way. Be careful. If you rotate this, if you take this piece, rotate and put it here, it will come, the whole thing will get swapped, right? So A4, A5, A6. And more than that, right of A5, this is right of A6. So done. 3 more persons have been placed. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And plus 3, 8 persons are already there. 4 more people have to come. Where will they come? 1, 2, 3 and 4 positions. Now try that. A11 is second to the left of A3. Have we marked A3 so far? No. A11 is second to the left of A3. Fine. Neither A11 nor A3 is sitting in the corner. Okay. So who are the 4 people left out by the way? A11 is left out, A3 is left out, A10 is left out, and A12 is left out. Others all have come, right? 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes or no? These are the persons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Of these persons, we have got 1 fixed. We have got 4, 5, 6 fixed. We have got 2 also fixed. We have got 7, 8, 9 fixed. Who are left out? 10, 11, 12 and 3. Right? 10, 11, 12 and 3. Now what do we do? This cross marks by the way indicate that these cannot be the corners. This cannot be the corner, this cannot be the corner, this cannot be the corner, this cannot be the corner. These 4 cannot be the corners. We have identified only 1 corner so far. Remember? We have identified only 1 corner so far. Now for the sake of simplicity, let me just clear this markings and all that we have done here. Not for simplicity, but I don't want to have any distractions. Okay, now what are the points given to us? A11 is second to the left of A3. A11 is second to the left of A3. See, second to the left of A3. Where can A3 come? If A3 comes here. A11 will be second to the left. So A3 here, A11 can come here. Are you able to follow? If 3 comes here, 11 would come here. Or 3 can come in this position itself, then 11 would come here. If A3 is here, second to the left of A3 is 11. Or 3 can come here and 11 would come here. You're able to follow? So this is like 3 dash, 11 dash, 3 double dash, 11 double dash, 3 triple dash, 11 triple dash. Meaning if 3 is here, 11 would come here. If 3 is in 3 dash double dash position, 11 will come in 11 double dash position. If 3 is in 3 triple dash position, 11 will come in 11 triple dash position. Because we know, what we know is A11 is second to the left of A3. So A3, first left, second left. A3, first left, second left. A3, first left, second left. So there are 3 possibilities. There are 3 possibilities for them. That doesn't really help us immediately. Then next, neither A11 nor A3 is sitting on the corner. And by the way, the other thing that we know is A10 is sitting to the right of A12. So once we fix A3 and A11, then remaining 2 positions will be occupied by A10 and A12, and we know that A10 is on the right of A12, so that can also be done. But what is important is which of these 3 pairs will be the actual positioning of A3 and A11. Now, what we also know is neither A11 nor A3 is sitting in the corner. Neither A11 nor A3 is sitting in the corner, and that's the clue. That is the clue which will give us the answer. Neither A3 nor A11 is in the corner. So for example, for the sake of argument, let's assume this is 3, A3, and this is A11. This is an assumption. Okay, this is an assumption because there are 2 more possibilities, and they are also not the corners. They are also not the corners. What is the problem? If these are also not the corners, you see, A9 is not a corner, A3 is not a corner, A2 is not a corner, A11 is not a corner, A8 is not a corner. 5 people are not in the corner. We know that, which means all the 5 are on the same side. If none of these 5 consecutive people are in the corners, we already know A9, A2 and A8 are not the corners. If A3 and A11 are also not the corners, then 5 consecutive persons are there because they are consecutive and none of them is corner. But do we have any side which has got 5 persons? No. The maximum that we have is 4. 4 persons on one side, 2 persons on one side, and 3 persons on the other side. Third side. So which means this positioning of A3 and A11 is wrong. Yes or no? This is wrong. So 3 dash and 11 dash is ruled out. I mean, if you don't write it will look neater, but I'm just striking it off so that you can follow. Now what else can be there? Suppose this is A3 and this is A11. Again the same problem. If this is not the corner and this also is not the corner, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 persons together and none of them is a corner. Yes or no? Neither A11 nor A3 sitting in the corner. One, two, three, four, 5 persons together, none of them in the corner. So this also is not possible because maximum there can be 4 persons in corners. So this positioning of A3 and A11 is also ruled out. Right? So 3 double dash, 11 double dash. So finally what is left? This should be A3 and this should be A11. This should be A3 and this should be 11, and these are not corners. Now what happens? You see, A8 is not corner, A3 is not corner, A7 is not corner, A11. These are only 4 consecutive. This position is vacant now. So 4 persons can be together? Yes or no? This is a corner. Then 1, 2, 3, 4 persons, consecutive persons, none of them is a corner. Not a corner, not a corner, not a corner, not a corner. So obviously this should be a corner. So this will be a corner. Whoever comes here will be the corner. So this is the first corner, this second corner. Now, moreover, who are left out? If we have marked 3 and 11, left out is 10 and 12. And what is the point given about 10 and 12? 10 is on the right of 12. If 10 is on the right of 12, so this should be A12 and this should be A10. So 10 is on the right of 12. You see, anti-clockwise of 12, 10 is on the right of 12. So we have got one corner, we have got second corner. Now where will be the third corner? You see, 4 persons together, this is a corner, this is a corner. Now, can you have A10 as a corner? A10 cannot be the corner. Because if you make A10 as a corner, then between A12 and A10, only one person is there. Are you able to follow? If A10 is also a corner, then between A12 and A10, there is only one person. Is there any side which has got only one person? No. So A10 cannot be the corner. So now you see A2 is not a corner, A10 is not a corner, A9 is also not a corner. So 3 consecutive persons and none of them is a corner. So definitely A6 has to be the corner. and we are done. So now if you observe, A1 is a corner, A12 is a corner, A6 is a corner. Between A1 and A6 we have got A4, A5. So 2 persons together. Between A1 and A12 we have got these 4 persons together. And between A12 and A9 we have got these 4 persons together. And that transforms into the triangle that we want. So now if I have to, look at it neatly, this is what it would look like. Let me just put it in the triangle that we had drawn initially. Right? What do we want? We want this type of an arrangement. How will it look like? You see. Look at this. So A1 is on which corner? A1 is on a corner where there are 3 positions on one side and 4 positions on the other side. So A1 has to come here. Yes or no? A1 is on a corner where he has got 3 on one side. Sorry, 2 on one side and 4 on the other side. I'm sorry, this is not A1. 2 and 4, right? A1 has got 2 together on one side and 4 together on the side. So 2 and 4 means A1 would come here. This is A1. Now who are the 2 guys? 4 and 5 in that fashion. So this is A4, this is A5. And who are the 4 guys? 11, 7, 3, 8. So A11, A7, A3, A8. And then after A2 do we have A12. So this is A12, which is a corner. Then we have A2, we have A10, we have A9. None of them is a corner. And then we have A6, which is a corner. Done. This is the final arrangement. Yes or no? This is A12. This is the final answer, which is same as whatever we have done in the circle. Now I am not going to look at the 5 questions asked with this, because answering those 5 questions will be very simple. You just have to look at the diagram, the triangular diagram, and answer the questions. What is the key here is how do you solve it? You have already understood the context. We have already discussed that in a circular table, every seat is the same. There is no differentiation. In a square table, there are different types of seats. There can be corner seats or there can be side seats. 2 different types of seats. In a rectangular table, there can be 3 different types of seats. There can be corner seats, there can be shorter side seats, there can be longer side seats. In this triangular table, while it is a closed loop, there were 4 different types of seats. There were corner seats, there were seats on side which has got 2 people, there were seats on side which has got 3 people, there were seats on side which has got 4 people. So while you can try with that a triangular kind of a setup, it becomes really difficult because you will not know. Like the first statement here was A1 is second to the left of A7. Now where will you put A1? Will A1 be a corner, or will it be a 2 sides person, or 3 side person, or 4 side person? You do not know. The only thing you know is A1 is not a corner, or A1 is a corner. Okay, fine, A1 is a corner. But when you look at the next part, right, A2 is second to the left of A9. We know that A2 and A9 are not the corner persons. But is A2 on 2 side, 2 person side, or 3 person side, or 4 person side? No idea. So the best way is consider a circular table, mark whatever is given directly, and then identify the 3 corners. I'm sure all of us in our lives have played with a rubber band, right? When you have usually a longer rubber band, it looks like a circle. But then you can just put your fingers there to make it look like a triangle. That's what we are doing here. Recall that time when you had done it? I mean, I'm sure I had done it multiple times. I mean, I do it even today when I find a rubber band. I mean, it happens by habit, right? You just take it in your 3 fingers, it looks like a rectangle, a triangle. But then when you just leave it like that, it can be like a circular band. Or generally takes an oval shape because of the manufacturing. But yeah, it is like a circular band. So that's what we're doing here. It's a rubber band. It has to be in a triangular fashion. But then if you release your fingers from there, it will be like a circle. So it's a circle. Identify the 3 corners. It's a circle with 12 points. You have to identify the 3 corners and then stretch. So that circle, when you stretch from those 3 points, it will become a triangle automatically. Yeah, and it's not a rocket science. All of us have done this in the past. So with this, we come to the end of this puzzle. A very interesting puzzle. I'm sure all of you will be able to solve it. But the best way to solve it in the exam is to skip it. Skip and move to the next one, right? Because you're not there to solve every question, and this is a complex one. It may take, I mean, when I say skip, I don't say you have to skip it forever or for the exam. Don't solve it immediately. First solve the easier questions, then come back if time permits. That's the technique. And on that note, I would like to close the session here. Thank you so much for joining us and being so patient. It's more than 2 hours that you've been attending the session here. So we'll close it. We'll meet again. We'll keep conducting these live classes. Of course, your next live class is immediately on Saturday. Saturday doubts clarification and Saturday English language session. So we'll meet in that live classes and meet again next week for quant reasoning and English discussions. Until then, keep practicing and do take very good care of yourselves. And all those of you who are watching us on YouTube now, I think the immediate action that you have to take is hit the subscribe now button, because if you subscribe, you will get to know about our next live classes and you can participate in those sessions without missing out on them, right? So that's the action that you take. Thank you once again. Keep practicing and take very good care of yourselves. Bye.